So, in the Iceland Has Elves homework assignment, I wanted you to look through this sort of lighthearted story and assess to what extent the evidence provided in here supports the conclusions of the story. And so, the main conclusion of the story, the point of the story, is that people in Iceland believe that there are elves. And so, let's look at the evidence that we have to support that. One of the things I love about this story is the first quote here from Stefan Stephenson, a fisherman in Reykjavik. Do I believe in huddle folk? He asks, staring into his beer. I am one. Now, I like this as an example because it's a lovely little piece of writing, and it is exactly the answer that you would get if you wandered up to High Street and started asking people in the bars on High Street at like 2:00 in the afternoon, do you believe in ghosts? Or do you believe in UFOs, right? Do I believe in UFOs? The college kid, someone drinks his beer. Well, I am an alien. So there you go. It's a funny quote, but what does it really say? Kind of ambiguous. The real problem that I'm looking for in the first part of the homework, though, is with this survey result. When more than 900 people were asked a question in a University of Iceland survey, 55% said the existence of hoodle folk and fairies is possible, probable, or certain. Only 10% answered impossible. The psychologist said he wasn't surprised. All right, so if 55% say elves are possible, probable, or certain, and only 10% say that they're impossible, where are the missing 35%? Are these people who say that it's merely unlikely that they exist, someone up here? Or are these 35% who just say, I don't know? Who knows? The other problem, and probably even the larger difficulty with the presentation of the results here, is that the numbers for possible, probable, and certain are all combined. Really, 10% saying impossible might be the most remarkable number. You can't really prove they don't exist, right? And you see these kind of results when you ask Americans about UFOs, for example, or ghosts. Is it impossible? Well, who's to say? Nothing's impossible. Or maybe things are. I don't know. All right, but that's what I'm talking about in the first part. For the second part of the homework, when I was asking about other numbers, other ways that you might be able to estimate or that you might be able to contribute to this story beyond the public opinion poll there. Well, obviously the perfect number for this story would be the head count of elves, right? Or the number of people who believe in elves would be both beautiful pieces of quantitative evidence that would get this story beyond just talking about quotes about what people said. Be real evidence. Obviously, we're not going to have a head count of elves. So valuable for us as reporters is to think about realistic alternatives. What kind of numbers could we use? Less perfect numbers that would provide evidence along that path or provide estimates about how many people believe in these things. So, for example, quantitative information that would help improve this story might be to discuss the number of roads that were actually moved because of elf concerns, or the number of public hearings held because of elf concerns. Numbers of things are good, numbers of hearings. Money spent for this or that elf related construction project would also be good.